Welcome to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Joyous conversations about what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about our one reality. You have nothing to fear. You are eternal and you are perfectly loved. Knowing the truth changes everything. Now, here's Roberta.
Welcome to Seek Reality. I'm Roberta Grimes, and I'm delighted you can be with us today. Oh, my dear ones, today we're going to delve even further into an area that we predict will be talked about more and more and more in the coming months and years. So we on Seek Reality are striving to keep up to our name and begin to talk about it now more and more. And it's the brand new and exciting field of the open-minded study of human consciousness. Our guest this week, Ken Lloyd, is a worldwide pioneer in this field, doing work so new that he is an internationally recognized energy architect, a transformational healer and speaker, an activator whose work bridges science, spirit, and multidimensional energy. He calls himself a soul-infused walk-in who embodies higher frequencies that facilitate profound transformation, and that is a mouthful. Ken Lloyd was formerly a self-taught software engineer who built global technology companies. That's just basic beginner stuff. Then Ken's energetic awakening, which he'll talk about today, redirected his focus to exploring the mechanics of consciousness. He's set to applying systems designed to human energy. Think about that, where he identifies distortions, rewrites patterns, and restores coherence in the human field. He does this work through his global community, which is called Ken's Divine Collective, and through his connection to the Library of Creation, where he channels healing frequencies and activates codes that realign body, mind, and spirit. Ken's sessions inspire emotional freedom, physical renewal, and spiritual awakenings, guiding others toward harmony, clarity, and higher consciousness. Oh my, this is going to be fascinating. Ken, welcome. It's
Thank
great
you.
to have you with us today.
Yeah, I'm excited. That was a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah. And Ken doesn't have a book yet. I think it's going to come at some point. But what I gave you is sort of my version of what the people who work with him sent to me. I think I know where he's going because I have studied a lot of this myself. But this is going to be fun because I don't know precisely where he's going. He has had a spiritually profound experience. I have had a few of those myself. So we can talk about these, and I don't really know where this is going, so it's kind of fun. Let's get started, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with some of the foundational stuff. So, before my event, I call it my event, Spiritual Transformative Experience, I was a cybersecurity entrepreneur. I'm one of the original inventors of antivirus, anti-spyware. I've sold 3 different companies, all been acquired. And while that was an interesting, and I loved what I did, it was incredibly stressful. And in 2018, I had one of those days, where things are just not working out well, a lot of anger, and I would lay down in my bed.
Those days. Okay. Everyone's like, okay, I think I get that. Okay.
Yeah. But at the time I actually had a brain tumor, that was a pituitary brain tumor. It was a cortisol tumor wrapped in a cortisol cyst. So the amount of stress I was under during my acquisition created this condition. Ironically, the condition has nothing to do with what happened to me, but I found myself triggered. And for the audience, I have no religion background. I have no spiritual background. I have none of this. I have computer programming. And I laid down in bed and my stomach arched up in the air like an upside down letter U. And I had heat and swirling and energy all happening around my navel area. And then it just popped out of my body and I passed out. Now, that doesn't sound exciting, does it?
Let's say this.
Yeah.
Your stomach didn't pop out of your body. That would
No,
be
the energy.
weird. You popped out of your body. Okay.
Yeah, the energy popped out of my body and then I passed out, right? And I woke up the next day very, very peaceful, which is something I hadn't experienced in years. I later had found out that this was, I'm going to use a metaphor here. We're going to use the near-death experience metaphor, although I didn't die, but we hear the stories of the tunnel opening, right? And people go through the tunnel and they have an epiphany, they have a healing, they have these massive life changes. But imagine for a moment that the tunnel was there, but you don't go over, but they come over to you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what they call the walk-in.
Totally get it. Yep.
Yep. So at that point, I had one aspect. They're not full personalities or full walk-ins. It's just a spark of what I call a tool in a tool belt. So one of them came over, lodged himself in my field, and I woke up the next day feverishly trying to figure out what took place. You know, what is energy? And I found myself, what is an aura? You know, what are the chakras? What are these things? And over the next about 18 months or so, I found myself going through a rapid detox of the body, right? Cleaning my system up, getting the surgery I needed done. I didn't have a miracle healing, none of that. But what happened is one day I read a book on energy healing. And they have these exercises in the book, right? And sure enough, these things were happening. It was difficult at first because I thought all my friends were like, hey, you're just having fun and it's all working. But as these happened more and more, I realized there's something taking place.
Yes.
And, you know, over the years, so many things have happened to me in terms of these events. Originally, there was just one of those soul aspects. And then about 3 years after that, 12 more came in. And then 9 more came in.
Okay, let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
When you say came in, were these individual beings that entered your space, that entered your body or your aura space? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the aura space. They didn't go into the physical structure until later, and they weren't full beings. They were aspects of them. Again, so it's not that personality didn't change.
Did you see these beings
No.
or did you imagine them? Were you sensing them?
I was sensing them and I would get communication. But one of the things that I've learned in business, all right, is I would ask 3 people a similar question to see if the responses were the same. I do the same thing in spirituality. I have people I trust who can access that field of information, which is what I call it, and say, hey, what is happening? What is happening? And they would come back with the same information I was receiving. So it's a way for me to validate externally what I was feeling happening internally.
Right. Okay.
But they've never introduced themselves individually. Those conversations didn't take place.
And to people listening, very often these what seem to be individual beings will actually be part of a larger entity. They may at once have been individual beings, but they have risen so much in their vibration that they are part of a larger group being. And that's what you were experiencing. Okay, we are with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, my body began shifting and changing. I feel like a tuning fork all the time. Like I can feel every cell of the body vibrating when it's not moving. And what had happened here is they began to continually raise my frequency.
Right.
So and if that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And weren't you lucky and blessed that this was being done for you because you were just in your rut, going along in your rut, and clearly this was not suiting you spiritually. So you were being taken charge of, and your vibration was being raised. You may not have chosen it consciously, but the beings in charge of you had taken over. So lucky you, dear Ken.
And they keep doing it. They continue to upgrade the physical structure and what I do pretty much here on forever out.
Yeah.
When I was in Tulum, Mexico, about 2 years ago, they all merged into one collective. So I merged in the physical structure with these beings as a collective, but it's designed in such a way that when I'm in front of a person or in front of 1,000 people, whatever they need is what comes through the hollow bone to them. I have no control of what's being delivered.
Now, people are wondering, why is this happening to him? Could it happen to me? What if now I'm worried? What if this happens to me? Oh dear, I don't want this to happen to me. This is something which Ken's higher being, his eternal being, asked for and consented to.
Yeah.
This is not something that was done to him. This is something which he needed and wanted on a higher level, or else it would not have been done to him.
You're absolutely totally correct. I call it my job. I woke up to my job, and this is what I do in every incarnation. I show up at times of ascensions of different races and species, and my job is to accelerate that process. I'm like heavy construction equipment in your field. I will come in and pull out all of that energy, or distortions we call them, so that your frequency can rise back up to where it's supposed to be or it normally is. And when that happens, your body heals. Your emotions are no longer trapped, right? Your spiritual gifts come online. You have memories, and everyone's a little different, but I facilitate that in a very, very impactful, almost instant way for many people.
Yes. Exactly. I totally understand what you're saying, but I just want everyone listening to understand that this is not something that was done to Ken. This is something that was part of Ken's life plan that did not happen to him. It is something that he now understands was part of what he wanted, he planned, and he embraced, right?
Totally. You cannot ask for this if it's not in alignment with who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So nobody needs to worry that this will be done to you
No.
unless it was part of your own life plan, which it will instantly recognize if it is. So don't worry about this. This is fun. This is lovely, and you have embraced it totally as what was always your plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I move through my awareness or my awakening over the past 7 years, all that computer gifts and ability I had faded away. And now I couldn't tell you anything going on in the world of computers, right?
And you don't even feel dumb about that, do you?
No, but there is an interesting correlation between the idea of programming software, creating something that works for millions and millions of people, and then creating or programming your field, again, for countless people at once. So there is a correlation in understanding that. And as I was coming online, they would put groups of people in front of me with the same problems. I would have people with shoulder issues for 3 weeks. I'd have people with emotional problems for 3 weeks, and, all the other diseases and ailments. But they were showing me how to work that energetic field. Right. And now it used to take me an hour to do a shoulder, and now it takes seconds. Right. It's just kind of, I like to use the word auto magic. It's just automatic. It just happens now.
And to be clear, to be very clear, all of us have come to what our dear friend Craig Hogan calls Earth School to raise our spiritual vibration. We are here, and that is our core reason for being here. But there's so many ways for us to go about that, and many of them are very roundabout. That doesn't seem why we're here, but that is indeed for all of us why we are here. And this is the wonderful work that our dear friend Ken is now about. He is helping so many people in all the way, and now you're going to talk with us about all the different ways you're helping people to raise their spiritual vibrations. But first, you had to go about raising yours because
Yeah.
you were trudging along that path of earth, matter, totally mechanical. As you say, you didn't even have a religion. Not that that would have helped, because religion doesn't really help. Religion is low vibration. All religions are. Sadly, even Christianity is fairly low vibration, fear-based as it is. Well, we could talk about that another time. I'm sure that's
Yeah,
how you
right.
see it too. But you have worked first to raise your vibration, or your beings working with you did that, and then now you are doing this wonderful work of helping everyone else to get unstuck from wherever they happen to be stuck. Whether, as you say, you're helping their bodies heal so they are not stuck there, or whatever else you're doing. So tell us your stories, my dear.
So one of the things, interesting you mentioned the word story. So one of the things that my team, we call it the KDC, it's just a fun name, Ken's Divine Collective, which we talked about earlier. They're all about no story. Because what we find is that when we're doing our own self-healing, our own self-work, right, through all these different modalities, there is a processing, there's a story involved. This past life I had this thing happen, or this ancestor's involved in this thing, or my
Right.
childhood is impacting my relationship, and they're all valid. But it's a slow process at us trying to figure it out. So with what I do, remember, if we will, at the very foundation, everything's energy. Even though we're physical, everything's energy. And I have that gift to reach into that field, and like something tactile, I can pull out that distortion of that emotion that's lodged in you, no matter when you got it, where it came from, or what it's doing.
Yep. Doesn't
And
matter.
yeah,
That's
and then your body raises its own vibration, because nobody heals anybody. We all do it ourselves, but without the story, I'm able to pull all the root causes out at once. It's just accelerates you on your own journey. And for those who haven't had the experience, my team likes to say, we're going to give you a miracle today. I'm like, well, what's a miracle? A miracle is something positive happening without a logical explanation. And when you've had a back injury or something like that for 20, 30 years, or hips or knees, you name it, and it's instantly gone, what happens is that wakes you up to the field of your own potential. And like me, you're going to wake up the next day and like, my gosh, what just happened? How do I get more of it?
yeah. Right.
So I help people that way, but I do it on large scale. So the way my team explains it to me is typically it takes a human to work on a human. Now, we all know that we have guides and teams and all of these things outside of us that are helping along our journey. Well, they need you to have something. Maybe it's a healing. Maybe it's an awakening. Maybe it's an awareness, a memory, whatever these things are. They will work through the divine, which then comes down in front of me, which simply means that if I've got 1,000 people in the audience and I use my light language, every single person in the audience gets exactly what they need from their team. So I'm a bridge to deliver to you what it is you're needing, whatever that might be.
Sounds beautiful. So do you only work with audiences? You don't work with individuals?
Well, what happened is I had almost 900 sessions. I was completely booked out over 6 months, doing 10 to 12 a day. Yeah. It's not my
Was it
energy.
tiring at all?
No, it's not my energy. I'm connected to this battery, if you will, this divine energy, and I'm fine. Other than me sitting in place for so long, it gets a little, a little uncomfortable, but no, it's just not my energy at all. But what happened here is that's not scalable. Remember, my original design before this was creating something that served millions of people.
Yes.
I'm here to design the same thing, to use those words, in spirituality, to heal or to help or to move them along in their own journey, thousands, tens of thousands of people at a time. So my team says no more one-on-ones unless it's an emergency. Like I love working on kids and people having these emergencies.
Right.
But I've set up my platform to do Wednesday night events. I've got my social media. I've got distant healing. I've got my in-person events. I do a lot of things, but they are designed to do it over the masses versus the individual. But I still do it sometimes. I love it. Yeah.
So people then would go to your website. If
Hmm.
they were interested in working with you, they would go to your website and there you would say, this is where you're going to be next or whatever, and they would sign up for that.
Yeah, correct. Like, I'm not sure when this airs, but like I'm in Asheville in July. I'm probably in Sedona in November. But most of the stuff I do is literally all virtual because even on the replays,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be
you're
great.
still
Yeah.
getting your codes, right? And one of the things that's important to me is that I'm able to serve, the person with nothing and then the person who wants that high touch, right? So we put out massive social media in terms of all of my light languages and my YouTubes and my Instagrams and you name it, right? So I'm able to help everybody at whatever level they're looking to have help at.
Hmm.
But yeah,
That's wonderful. Do you actually heal if people have diseases? Do you,
yes,
so,
absolutely.
oh, oh, I have a cancer.
Yeah.
Can you heal that cancer?
So it's important that we make the distinction for your audience. I don't heal anyone. I remove the distortion creating the dis-ease. You heal yourself. And that's an important distinction because no healer actually heals anyone. I'll give you the environment so that it happens naturally. And it can happen in an instant. I was in San Diego last September and this gentleman walked up to me, one of the other vendors at the booth, says, "You healed my cancer." I said, "Okay." Because I actually don't remember him. I don't remember most people, most conversations. I'm metaphorically, my head's up in the clouds all the time with this high energy. So when I'm down in the 3D, I don't actually remember those interactions taking place. But he's like, yes. And this happens all the time to me. People are coming up to me, say, "You healed this disease or that disease," or "I can now walk again after 20 years. My knees were bad." It happens to me all the time in terms of these conversations, but I never remember what I do. I don't have a modality. I don't have a process. I literally drop in, I see whatever they want to show me, I reach in, I pull it out, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it sounds super, super simple because it's designed to be that way. I have a philosophy in life. Keep it simple, silly. We know the KISS principle.
Yes, yes.
Like when we use the word silly.
Keep it simple, silly.
Yeah. So, and that's how I operate and it works. It works. And, you know, every 2 or 3 months they upgrade the physical structure and they bring more things in. I have it's the intensity of what's being delivered right now will give you a little bit of will make you uncomfortable. You will get a little bit of a headache. Some people get a little nausea, and when you're in the same room with me as I'm doing this, you'll feel the intensity move across you from the energy of the structure. I About 3 years ago, I woke up in February and I couldn't move my body again. And I'm like, what's going on? And I was void of emotions, Roberta. I had no emotion. It wasn't one way or the other. They were absolutely gone. And I had woke up to them pulling out all of my chakras and replacing them with what I call dryer voltage. I'm a simple guy. I'm a funny guy, right? They upgraded my energy systems and my structure, but it was like a puppet. There's strings being cut. Yes. The higher voltage. I love
They
it.
did, they did an upgrade on you. And that is so,
They do it all the time.
oh my dear. That is so funny. Oh,
As
that is
I get in
really
front of,
precious. I just have to tell you.
I'm a funny guy. I can do this all day long. I take life very lightly, very
Oh,
easy.
I do too.
Yeah.
And some people think that's being, sacrilegious. You're supposed to be grave. Well, between you and me, no one else is listening, right? Everyone else, please just shut your ears. I have such a personal relationship with Jesus that I have visited with him on the astral plane and spent time with him. And if there ever was a lighter and more joyous being than Jesus is at this moment, I could not imagine that being.
Mm.
And if that is who he is after 2,000 years post his being on earth and teaching, and he is much, much more elevated in spirit now than he was then, as you can imagine. If he is light and full of laughter, then shouldn't we be too, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I
He
find the humor
he
helps.
doesn't
Yeah.
go around being grave and, oh no,
No.
he is just the most joyous being that you can imagine. So, so shouldn't we who serve him be that way?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with everything they've done to the structure and my life, December 12th, 23, I got a little message, Ken, go meditate, about 8 o'clock at night. And I didn't get those messages, but I did. And as soon as I sat down, I was frozen in position. I couldn't itch or twitch my body again. And I could feel the energy coming down, the intensity coming into the crown through the body. And I began asking a question like, what is going on? And the only response I got back, Roberta, is, we're a little busy, but with you in a moment. Again, word for word, seriously, it's like customer service putting you on hold. And that's what they did. They shut off my ability to ask questions for 13 of the 15 minutes. And all I could do was sit there and observe a fractal of the higher self moving into my physical structure.
You know, I'm just glad they don't do that to me. They know that I'm just too impatient. But to visit Jesus is to be in the presence of pure joy. Yeah, and I just can't, I mean, it just fills me with joy to even think about it. And these people in churches are so serious. I don't know why. Jesus knows how it comes out, and it comes out so well. My dear one, it comes out so well, and you're doing part of the work.
Mm.
Just to be with you, I know you are doing part of God's work. And thank you for that.
Yeah, so New Year's Eve of this year, they finally told me who they were. Because I've been asking for years. I'm like, help me understand what's going on. And they came through right after midnight. You know, I'm in the hotel room. I don't do the celebration stuff. It's just not me. And they're like, listen, we are what you would call a divine authority. And I stopped them. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't like the word authority.
Yeah, I don't either.
But they said, let us explain a little bit here. I said, okay. Every species has a divine aspect to them. Every one of us are divine. Every one of us are divine. Well,
yes,
it does.
We're all part of the divine consciousness.
We are all,
right.
so everything that's ever been created is part of the divine. And a species will have their own ascended masters like we do, but they'll also have their ascended masters. And so they explained to me that as we are growing and the human species is moving into our next version of us, that they're here to ensure that we don't lose our own divine authority inside of us, right?
Yeah.
To remember who we are. And that's what they're there for, to make sure that we have the tools we need to move into our next version.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And Jesus is very happy. He just, the one thing he wishes that he could do is to walk on the earth and be with people again. But boy, does he love people.
I think we're all part of him. I think we all have him in us.
Because it's one continuous consciousness. We
That's
are all
correct.
part of each other as well.
Yeah.
We're all part of the Godhead. We're all part of Jesus. We're all part of each other. But boy, does he love people. He just loves people. He loves us, each one of us, so perfectly.
His
it's
energy will come through in the sessions I do. I'll actually see him step into the bodies of those that I'm working on, if it's appropriate, but other ones will show up
yeah,
sometimes as well.
I don't know. I've tried to ask my spirit guide how he can be in many places at once. He says, "Don't even ask. You won't understand it till you come
Yeah.
back here and be with us." So I don't even try. But yeah, I think that what you're doing is beautiful, and you did consent to it before you were born, and you are just enjoying it because it's what you're supposed to be doing now,
And I
which is
do
why
enjoy
I
it.
enjoy what I do. I mean, obviously, I consented to it
Yeah, I mean,
before I
I
was
get the most
born.
joy when I'm seeing the shifts in real time with the people in front of me, right? And whether it be something physical, right, or perhaps they have that darkness in them, right? And it's okay. There's no judgment here, but that can be removed as well. Like everything, when we look at the idea, and I like to call them check boxes of gifts or abilities, right? I've had the experience of most of them and have moved through those fields, but when we talk about codes or activations, I have access to all the checkboxes. So I find that when somebody shows up and says, Ken, I want to be able to, communicate with my team more, or I want to be able to turn on these gifts, if they're in alignment with that person's journey, they will come
Right.
online.
If is the thing. It's not up to you to give it. It's
Yes.
just up to you to make that process easier, to light the way, to
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a bridge. I don't get to choose
yeah,
what comes across that bridge necessarily for whoever.
exactly right. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand perfectly.
I had a I had a lady do a reading on me about 2 years ago because I wanted to know. This was before the full merge took place, and she's like, "Listen, you have aspects. Now these aren't full souls, but you have aspects of 16 ascended masters, 10 Christed ETs, and 15 archangels in your field." And that was before that merge took place. I had a hard time digesting that and
Yeah.
grasping that, right? And they helped me understand that a Christed ET is an ET is a version of Ascended Master,
Uh-huh.
Christed energy, right? And so the way I understand things is that we are all more than just this human species. We've been a lot of things.
Yes.
And while you show up to have the work done on the human, they're actually working on all those aspects for you.
Hmm.
Clearing, upgrading, activating, whatever fun word you want to use, but they are improving you across the board.
Hmm.
I It's amazing. It's just incredible to see these transformations take place with people.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. I'm sure it is. It's a sacred experience for you to be part of it. And I know for you to even be close to these experiences sometimes must feel so joyous. You must find it very hard not to.
So I'm what's called a hollow bone, and we may read about these things in books, right? I think again, I've been turned off from the world for 7 years. No news, no subscriptions to other people's meditations. I have no modality. I have no access to information on how to spin sideways on a full moon to make something happen. Like I'm just not that guy. I'm not here to give the information. I'm here to do the work. But, so what happens here is these shifts continue to change in me based on what's happening with society, the global collective as well. So as we all begin merging into this, what we call the new human or this next version,
Yeah.
more and more of these divine comes through this hollow bone. So
Uh-huh.
I don't actually feel the energy moving through. I don't have the ability to interpret, to intercept, or to manipulate those codes coming down. A true
Hmm.
hollow bone, meaning that you're getting exactly what you asked for at the highest possible frequency with no hooks, no small print, no contracts, no nothing, right from the divine. So it's interesting, and it is a little frustrating because even though I'm doing the work on this side, it's not, there's not an emotion that comes through with it. I'm literally tapped out of the body as they're in, and then it instantly flips. So it's like, what did I just do?
So you have no idea what the heck is going on.
It
You
fades
just,
really quick.
yeah.
It fades really quick, right? And the team will create usually the same visualizations for me. Like they keep it simple for me as well. Like
Right.
I don't have crazy things flying around in my scenes and moving all this energy. Like it's
But that's
literally,
probably just as well for you.
mhm.
No, there are no distractions for you
There
then.
are no distractions. Nope. I
That's
open up your
good.
field, everything comes pulling out, and then they pull down that Christ consciousness, high frequency into the body.
Yes, that's good. That's good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like, and I can't heal myself. I literally can't do anything to my own body. And that's by design. Because
Yeah.
if I could, I'd be taller. I probably wouldn't have that gray hair. Right?
Gorgeous. I'd be
Oh
so
yeah, no
gorgeous.
wrinkles.
Yes.
But so it's this mechanism. So, I literally I can't do anything on my own stuff. I have to do the old fashioned way. I have to work for it.
Oh, I think that's so funny.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. That's
So
how
it
it
is.
is, darling.
They 2 years ago they channeled what's called the Library of Creation through me. And this was a way for the average person, I say the average person, meaning the person who can visualize, to actually get access to the same codes that I do in a way that works for them. In the library, you can go in there and say, show me all the trapped emotions around our relationship, and you're able to pull them out of your field using a process that works for most people. So I'm able to show people how to do it in their way, not necessarily in my way.
That's good.
Yeah, to empower someone to take control of their own energies. And this
That's very
library
good.
creation allows them to do that
Yeah, that's good. That's
without a
good.
story.
Yeah, that actually is very good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, we're sort of coming surprisingly toward the end of our time. This has not, it sort of goes in 2 minutes when we're really interested. I am fascinated by your story because I know it's genuine. And I mean, people listening are wondering, do I have a story like this too? Some people do. And for some people, it really doesn't get activated until late in their lives.
Yeah.
So you just have to be receptive for your own guides to work with you in whatever way they're supposed to be working with you. I mean, some people will shut it off, and that's too bad. You just have to open your heart and open your mind and, say, God, use me.
And that's the key, Roberta, honestly. Use me in a way that best serves humanity with
Yeah,
no parameters around that has to happen.
no,
It is so true.
it really, I didn't start my active life for God until I prayed that prayer. And I only prayed that prayer when actually it was time for me to do the things I was supposed to start doing after I had done a great many other things. So, yeah, and you as well. That's right.
It's funny. I mean, I
Exactly.
remember at some point during my journey of trying to understand what was happening to me, I'm like, okay, I'm in. Whatever you need me to do. Not sure what that means.
Yes.
Ta-da.
It turned out to be pretty fancy in your case, didn't
Well,
it?
and I just did it again a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I'm ready for the next level, whatever you need me for. Right.
Yes.
And so it's kind of a reaffirmation of my dedication to God and source. And, again, everyone has their own words, but
It
yeah,
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
No, I have literally asked Jesus to his face, what would you prefer to be called? He said, you name it, anything. It
They don't
doesn't
care. Call me
matter.
buddy. Yeah. Like this doesn't matter to them. Yeah.
And he will come up with a name for you.
Mm.
He calls me little one. I mean, I don't think I'm that little. But it's because he met me when I was a small child in a very long ago incarnation. And
Mm.
so he called me little one then, and he's never stopped. Oh my goodness, we have such amazing lives. We think our lives are so ordinary, but everybody's life is extraordinary.
It
And
is.
that's one thing that we need to understand. Our lives are all so beautiful.
Hmm.
You see that too in
I
all the
do.
you may not remember it, but you're seeing it in all these many lives that you're affecting.
Yeah,
What a
I do see
beautiful.
that. I do see their lives, and I see how things are changing, and I do read all. I may not remember the moment I'm doing the work, but I do follow them, right? And their shifts and changes in the world are incredible. Everyone seems to love the whole abundance thing. So again, we have energy that blocks what is already ours, right? It's the abundance, and abundance is across any aspect of life, whether it be abundance in relationships or abundance in material or money, whatever these are, they're already
Yeah.
yours. And I'm able to see the energetic blockages that keep them from landing. And I have seen them land seconds after I'm done, right?
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's so
It's
beautiful.
incredible. And to see the smiles on these faces, to see their worlds light up and change, and them to have, again, their own miracle, right? Something positive happening without a, how did that happen? Logical explanation happens every day.
Everybody, you need to understand the miracles are waiting
Hmm.
for you to say yes to them.
Absolutely.
Until you say yes, they're not going to come to you. So it's time.
Hmm.
Ask yourself and ask God, is it time for you to say yes to your miracles? Because then when you are willing to say yes, that's when they come.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're getting toward the end of our time together. What would you like to say or do?
I love to give people an experience, and this experience will be in the form of light language. And for those of you who may not understand the language of light or light language, it is a way for consciousness to talk to consciousness, right? The field to talk to the field, but it bypasses our brain and
Mhm.
our egoic mind. So you're not going to hear me say the cow jumped over the moon, right? You're not going to hear words. You're going to hear tones and phrases, and you're going to hear different tones and phrases coming in. And these are different energies from the divine coming through to deliver to you whatever it is that's in alignment. Now, there's literally nothing you need to do on your side for anybody listening. Just recognize things may shift in your life over the next few days. You may have discomfort in the body that disappears like that. Just don't set any expectations. Allow everything to show up as they show up. So if you're ready to go, Roberta, I'm ready.
Okay.
Kalamaleari erishiri aroto moriano torishiri tiliaro to makari arata. Doriama maleni aratiriata kala to shira turpurianari tini shira tara brini kotorio takali nikinito koria pokrito kara nikaleria urin de kineta kariana ka de kikolero kala maleni ka digari ka digalo to koria shiriaro torri to korpati kichkatchku te kini maleni aro torianata. Tala mamalero auro tauro di torri na carre per chiri shiro torre to coriato co tariale ari aro to schedi con balene aliena balero la tario to tauro tiena ta mokuri ducinata o ta kama te kanante kanto te kapate kanto to kapote ke de te kare to corre to kiski to corpo to kare ruga no ta malene anor tauro io to moriana tenini da alieni are shira torio pashela lene no coromoro to, and it's literally that. It's that fast.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you, sweetie. That was lovely.
Thanks.
Wow. Okay. Oh, my dearly beloved friends, we've come to the end of our time together this time. This has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. I'm so happy you could be with us today. Please never forget that you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began and you never will end. And when you get that, when you understand all the implications of that plain and simple fact, it's going to change everything in your life for the better. Next week, our guest will be Gregory Halpern. Greg is an NDE experiencer who was very strongly affected by his experience, and he wrote a book about it called Semantics and Mechanics. He's walking into the lion's den by agreeing to be interviewed on Seek Reality because, of course, near-death experiences are not real death. And if he can sit here and talk about his experiences now, then he didn't really die and he didn't come back to life. And I'm walking into the lion's den, too, and talking with him here because clearly something amazing is going on with Gregory Halpern, and he now calls himself a pure channel to receive his knowledge that's coming from somewhere. Okay, so we're going to be talking about some weird stuff. Well, today, of course, we didn't. I understand perfectly what's going on with Ken Lloyd, and I have to say, he's coming back here. We're going to have him back again because the things he talked about were beautiful, and I can vouch that they were true. This week, we've been talking with a wonderful man named Ken Lloyd about the science of consciousness. As you can see, my dear ones, consciousness is where the world is going. So we at Seek Reality are going to try to get ahead of that particular train. And Ken Lloyd is an internationally recognized architect of the energy that is consciousness. What you saw today was beautiful, and I know personally that it was all true. It was an extraordinary experience for me, and we're going to be having him back again to talk about this a whole lot more. Fascinating, beautiful, amazing, and true. And Ken, we're going to have to get your book as soon as you write that book. I don't think you're ready to write it yet, but when you do, it's going to be beautiful. And meanwhile, oh, my dear friends, this has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. We're starting to find reality by now. Please enjoy, please make the most of this coming week in our One Reality, always knowing that you are a powerful, eternal being. Never forget that fact. You never began, you never will end, and you, most of all in this entire universe, you, in particular, are infinitely, eternally, and perfectly loved.
You've been listening to Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes. Roberta blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Join us every week as we explore what the afterlife evidence and modern science combine to tell us is true about the one reality we all share. Knowing the truth changes everything.